Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And you guys know what it is. It's What If Deku Was X Virus Part 2. And Jesus, I was surprised of how much love the first part of this series got so quickly. Like, jeez. Oof. But where we left off, the group that X Virus was running with. Pretty sure the group members were Tiki Toby, X Virus, duh, because he's in the group. Masky and Hoodie were captured by the pros, and since they were too young, since they were too young to send to jail, they were sent to UA's new villain rehab. And before any of you rush to the comments and rush to your keyboards in the comments and says why doesn't Slender Man just teleport in and why doesn't Slender Man just teleport in, grab them and teleport out? Because of plot. I gotta work some ways into this, man. It just can't be them going on murder sprees for 5 parts. I need story, man. So, yeah, that's why. Plot. It's gonna be the best excuse I could come up with. Plot. That's why Slender hasn't teleported in and gotten them all out. That's why. But, it's their first day, and they're, like, in a little room, and Aizawa comes in with All Might, and then he starts reading off all names. He's like, you in the yellow hoodie. He's like, name, unknown, Quirk, unknown, villain name, hoodie. Because they know nothing about these dudes. Kill count, unknown. Basically everything's unknown except for their creepypasta names. Because they don't know their kill counts, they don't know their quirks, and they don't know their real names. Like, they could try to take blood tests, but I doubt they were in the system. Like, I doubt they had DNA in the system. And, they give them little, like, quirk nullification bracelets. And why they're bracelets instead of collars? Because I don't feel like having my characters having fucking dog collars around their necks. So, they're waiting outside class 1, like, the group's waiting outside of class 1A. Aizawa walks in before him. He basically tells the class that they got 4 highly dangerous villains. 4 highly dangerous villains from the villain rehab. And basically, Aizawa gives each student in 1A a clicker. And no, they're not shock clickers. They're not. If they hit this button, they're not gonna the dudes are not gonna get shocked. Excuse me. It basically sends out a signal to the nearest UA teacher, the nearest teacher, to report to that location immediately. So that's basically what it is. But then the 4 come in. And they basically introduce themselves. Like, Masky's like, just call me Masky. And Hoodie's just like, just call me Hoodie. And then Toby's like, my name's Toby. Tiki Toby. I don't know what that was, but I don't care. And then it gets to Deku, and he's like, X-Virus. You can call me X-Virus. Then they all go sit down, and there's a lot of murmur in the class that they have 4 highly dangerous villains, like, right next to them. Like, these dudes alone have probably murdered 1,000 people each. And then... man. Basically, they're gonna do Quirk training. And basically, Toby plays a Quirk as he can't feel pain, which is just one of his conditions that he's got. I forgot what it's called, but he just plays that off as his Quirk. Masky and Hoodie, I don't know. They just play off enhancement quirks. They just use their human strength and speed as a quirk and just call it an enhancement quirk. And Deku tells him about his virus quirk. And some of you guys were asking last part, like, if Deku was able to, like, if X virus was able to, like, produce like a giant gas wave, like a gas cloud of virus. But no, that's not how his quirk works. It's basically, it's liquid. It's a liquid virus. It's not gas virus. Like, sure, he could turn the viruses into gas, but that takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. And, like, he knows a lot about viruses, but he doesn't know how to turn them from a liquid to gas. So that's the main reason why he doesn't do it. The only reason he has the gas mask is to conceal his identity. That's legit the only reason that he has the thing. Just to clear it. So basically, he, what's his face? Aizawa Pids. Who's a character that I think could... Yeah, let's just say he puts Bakugo up against X-Virus. And I'm just calling Deku X-Virus now because it's grown on me. And Bakugo runs at X. If I call him X is just a shorter version of X-Virus, because I'd rather not just keep saying X-Virus. I'd rather just call him X. Makes my life easier. So, Bakugo rushes at X. He tries to explode him. It doesn't work. He just dodges, ducks, weaves. Punches, kicks. Because of the enhancement virus that he made in the last part. And let's say he had a syringe up his sleeve, and he pulls it out, and it's not a lethal virus, because he doesn't want to be, shot on sight. It's a knockout virus. Basically, when this spreads throughout his body, he will pass out cold. He's not dead, he's just out cold. So, X kind of does a backflip, and he goes behind, and he ends up behind and injects the virus into his neck, pushing the plunger of the syringe down. The virus quickly spreading throughout his body, the Bakugo getting knocked out, and him pulling the syringe out. And then Hoodie, Masky, and Toe, you're just like, classic. And then everyone else is just like, did he just kill Bakugo? And then then there's fights. Like, Todoroki versus Toby. And Toby just ducks, just keeps dodging. Like, he tries to freeze him, it doesn't work. And he kind of pulls out one of his axes and starts swinging. and pins Todoroki to a wall with his axe. And this basically goes on for a little while. And yeah. So yeah. And let's say this all happened before the USJ attack, because plot. Just plot, just straight up plot, because I can't think of anything else to put these dudes in. So the USJ attack, they show up the USJ, all the villains start flooding in, and all this they had their quirk, they got their quirk, quirk nullification bracelets turned off. So they kind of just break the bracelet as soon as as everyone's in disarray, and they turn back into their cells. Like real quick, like Hoodie goes, and then Masky turns into himself. Got the mask and everything. Basically, everyone goes back to their normal self. And they're kind of fighting off the villains and the heroes at the same time. It's very weird. And yes, they are killing some of these dudes. Well, they're killing the villains. And let's say they killed Mineta, because Mineta is trash. Yeah, let's say, let's just say they're killing some of the villains, other villains, not them. Like Toby threw a hatchet into one of their skulls, and X was injected but in like a mere seconds he injected 5 people with a very lethal virus. And Hoodie's just smashing skulls in with his pipe, and Masky's shooting some lead into these dudes. Then the Nomu comes out, and Shigaraki just commands him, the Nomu, to attack those four kids. The Nomu rushes at him, and it tries to swing at X. It doesn't work. And what he does, he takes out 5 syringes. And injects them into this thing's neck. And this is a very, very lethal virus. Like, he named this virus after himself. Like, his name, X-Virus, he named this virus the X-Virus. And one syringe of this thing could kill an elephant in a matter of seconds. But since this thing had healing regeneration, which he could see by Toby throwing a hatchet into it, and it just healing, so he times 5 down the dosage. And this was right in the neck, so that's right next to the brain. And before the super regeneration antibodies in the Nomu could destroy the virus, spread to the brain, and the Nomu died from chemical reaction. And once all the smoke cleared, most of the villains are dead because of these 4. And then they're like, Slender! Then Slender Man shows up. And Aizawa tries to erase Slender's quirk, but since, Slender doesn't have a quirk, it's supernatural abilities. So technically it's abilities. It's not a quirk itself, it's supernatural abilities. So he just teleports them 4 out. Just like, nope, we're out. And they got back to the mansion in time. And the only thing that was left was corpses of villains, a few syringes left behind from X, and yeah, that's about it. And a couple bullets that Masky shot off. But man, I'm having way too much fun with this. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this part, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace.